Hello everyone and welcome to this quick overview of FableRealms the Tavern. The Tavern is your starting place, it's the first place you come to when you log in, and it's where you manage your characters and your stories. But it's also your gateway down different paths as you play your tabletop RPG. So you log in, you just got an overview, this is just for you, but it's just a simple guide of where to find everything. You'll have your current active story, your campaign, and your active character, and if you've got any sessions booked in as well. Going from the top, just a logo, search bar. These are your messages. These messages are the same messages between Tavern and Guildhall. There'll be another video on Guildhall shortly, but basically it's as people request to join your games and play with you online, they can send you messages to say, they want to come along and play. Over here, log out subscriptions. So your profile, it's just like any other profile that you build on any other platform. It's just who you are as a person and how you play. So for me, new player friendly, sort of style games that I like, the systems that I am interested in or play in, my focus of how I play and some of my characters that I've made, and also what I seek. So for me, I like quite mature games, swearing, horror, violence, not really interested in romance. And if I've got any lines and files, I'd put them in there as well, but I don't. So your companions are basically your friends. So these are my friends from the games that I've played. And finding a companion is finding new friends. And likewise, I can go on here, view Salad Dodger, and see what Salad Dodger likes and what he gets up to and what he's interested in. So I've got this here. Next thing down are characters. These are the people you become when you play. These are your alter egos, should I say. And in here you've got your details, your backstory, etc, etc. And you can see here this one is linked on Codex. So when it says linked on Codex, you'll also have this campaign link down here, and it means that this character is linked to the Codex for the story of free. And I'll show you what Codex is in another video, but for a quick overview, it's basically all the lore, all the NPCs, the characters, the places from the story that we're currently playing through. So I can click on that, and I can read up on Whispering Wharf, I can view the image, and all this is passed through from the StoryEngine to the players. You've got lore, got battle history from the fights that we've had, we've got other party members, NPCs, and the story so far as well. Sorry, I just sneezed. What we've also got is notes. If I go down here to notes, and we've got party notes and player notes and individual notes. So I can click new, and I can say this is for the party, this is just for me, or this is a note I want to pass to the DM. And likewise, I can click on a character, I can add a note about this character if I wanted to, and I've also got shops. So as you, I'm not going to go too much, but I've got inventory, I've got shops. These are places that the party have been to. I can click on here, and I've got an inventory of what that shop sells. And this is all available when you're not playing the game, so you can come back and reference this on your own time. So we've got here so we've got characters. This is one that is not linked. So we can click on this, and you can see down here, I've got a campaign link. And if I want to have that link for Codex, so between my character and a campaign, I would say to the DM, look mate, that's my code. He would go into StoryEngine, click import on a new character, put that code in. All of this will be pulled through, and at that point, it's connected. Guildhall takes you to the Guildhall. I'm not going to click that right now because there's not much point. I can click it, takes you to the Guildhall. Codex takes you to Codex. As a player, you can have as many codexes as games you want to play. There's no limit. If you're linked to 50 games, you're linked to 50 games. It doesn't bother me. Campaigns, these are so this is available for DMs, so on the DM Lite and DM Pro subscription, and Studio subscription as well. These are your campaigns. So we've got here 5 different campaigns across Alien, Pathfinder, Cyberpunk, and D&D. What I can do if I wanted to was create a new one. I can upload a banner onto here, put the game system in, the rules, so the format, the rules, and I'll extend these as well to include more, obviously. A little bit of blurb, a little bit of how we play theme, and any notes that DM might have. What you're able to do if you've got the gold level access, the pro level access, and the studio is you'll have the manage option, and in here you'll be able to create a snapshot. So you'll be able to basically do a point in time backup of your story and say, right, well, you know, tonight we're going to go play it in a different way. Don't know if the party are going to screw it completely up. So you can create a snapshot and you've got basically a backup of where you got up to with that story. You can archive your story. So that's just say, you know, I've got the DM Pro subscription and I've got my limit of 5 stories in here. I'm like, well, I'm not going to play the Hollow Lantern Inn for a while again. Go in here, click archive, and it will go into archive, and then that will appear down here. Providing you've got the slots available, so I could archive that off, that'll be down there. If I then go back to having 5 campaigns, that will remain archived until something else gets archived and moves down here to replace an empty slot up there. The reason for this is that the stories live in what's called hot storage. It's all stored in memory in a database, and that's very fast memory. So it's just cheaper for me to say you can have 5, but you can archive as many as you want. So basically 5 active. If you've got DM Lite, you can only have 1 active with no archiving. What you can also do is make a copy. So that's just say suddenly you want to play that same story with someone else, a different group of people. You can create a duplicate of that. And what that will let you do, it doesn't at the moment, but it will essentially remove any of your quest complete notes. It will remove any link to a player in the tavern, and it'll basically give you a clean start with no interactions, no outcomes of your story. It'll just be a completely blank canvas again for you to start from scratch. I can schedule a party session, so I'll select this one. This is one that I scheduled earlier. So in here, I know it's all the same date, but I've got 3 options for the same date, which is online, hybrid, and in person. And what we can do here is when you have people linked to your party, to your campaign, like all of these are, I can say, right, we're going to play on this date, and it will notify them to say, look, Xander, he wants to run on this date over here. What's your availability? And you can come in and select your availability from down here. Once you get down to the 3 best options, you've got this section at the top here, and you can choose your favorite option from here. And that's really simple to set up. So if we just go to here, schedule a new event, put some details in, and just start adding dates and times, how long you want to play for, whether you want to do it in person, online, or hybrid. DM host office, so I might say, look, I'm going to host at my house. If we do it in person, bring snacks. I could put in here, you know, bring snacks. You guys can bring the crisps and the beer this time, etc., etc. Put an RSVP deadline in it. Notify the party, but also give the players the ability to host. Say to them, you know, I'll host it, but if anyone else wants to host it, put it on. And then when, as a player, you go on, you can select, but you can also say, I'll host it at my house. Next one's the demo campaign, which is the Hollow Lantern Inn. If you go to here, it gives you some details on it. But essentially, what I've done is I've wrote a small campaign. It's technically a one-shot, but I've taken it so far down the story, built up like a load of characters, locations, NPCs, some monsters, kind of pushed it down a certain route, and then I've stopped it. And that's now for, you know, you people, the people coming on, doing a demo, having a play around, having a look at it during your trial period. Come and give it a go, see what you like, and then you might go, well, I'm going to turn it into a comedy now and completely change the story. But it's there for you to do what you want with. The only thing I would say is when you do unpackage your tavern, give it a unique name. You can call it the Hallow Lantern Inn, but maybe put something else on the end of it. Reason being is that if loads of you are in the Guildhall and you're all hosting the same session, all hosting Hallow Lantern Inn nights, especially around, I can imagine, Halloween, you're just going to end up with loads of campaigns all with the same name. So that's why I say just give it a different name when you do so. The Vault doesn't exist yet. If you've watched my StoryEngine overview, basically the Vault will be an asset area where you can share tokens, you can create monster packs, you can create character packs and NPC packs. So let's just say that one of my bits of the story, I've very briefly in a seaside village, and obviously I had to go make a bunch of seaside related monsters and some tokens. So doing that, I could just create a little pack up and I could be like, well, these are seaside NPCs, seaside characters, seaside monsters, seaside tokens, and I can share them from the story engine straight into the vault, and that way people can come along and just see what other people have created. It's agnostic, so it's not a D&D thing. I know a lot of this is more aimed towards the D&D rule set, and I know like when other people play stuff like Aliens and Cyberpunk, you kind of having to twist it to make it your own way. What I will say, the vote will always be agnostic. It won't be pushing it down a certain route, a certain game set. So yeah, and also anything you need, you just ping me on Discord and say, look, Xander, we need to be able to do this to do Aliens properly, or this will be a really good feature. Ping me on Discord. I'm always online, and I can add it into the development list. What goes on down here? Private matters. It's all the usual stuff. Delete your account, reset your password. Messages. This is the same as this up here. It's just a different location. Subscription. I'll come back to that in a second. Edit your profile. Obviously, as you can imagine, edits your profile. And then with subscriptions, or help and support. You know, it takes you to raise a ticket, connect on Discord, go to Reddit. Subscriptions, players always going to be free. Never going to charge for players. What does a player get you? Gets you access to the Tavern. You can create free characters. You can sync to D&D Beyond. If you want to see how that syncing works, go watch the StoryEngine overview, and that explains how that works there. Obviously, connect to a DMD. Manage your profile, view your rewards, XP and gold and battle history. That's all in the Codex. All the stuff in the Codex already. You've got the scheduler. Some people have said to me, just having the schedule alone just makes their life a lot easier. Well, it's yours, it's free. Never going to want anything for that. It took me about 3 days to develop. I don't understand why some people want to charge $5 a month just to have a scheduler. Guildhall and table. So the Guildhall, which we talked about briefly, is where all the sessions are ran, all the tables are generated. If you think of thematic sort of way, currently in the Tavern, it's your resting place before you go and, you're having a pint, chilling out, having something to eat. You go to the Guildhall, you're ready to fight, you're ready to start your story and do your campaign, and then you move to the table, and that's your virtual table where everything happens. The table integration for players will become tighter and tighter and tighter. End goal is you'll be able to either play sitting around a table, and you'll have a mobile app, and that will give you your 3D dice. It'll give you your character sheets and all that, and you can simply sit there with your mobile up, click roll dice. That appears on everyone else's screens or on the projector, appears on the DM screen. Or you can have a laptop up and you can play from your laptop, and again everything's all synced across all the different all the different ways of playing, so online, hybrid and local. Moving on to DM Lite, unfortunately worked out a bunch of tax issues. £2 a month, which basically leaves me absolutely nothing by the time someone's actually subscribed and all the fees are paid. So unfortunately this is going to go up to £4 a month, which I'll be completely transparent. Once it goes to £4 a month, I'll be making £2.25 per subscription a month, so it's not much. But in here, you can have one active campaign. You can create 10 characters. The reason I'm saying 10 characters is that somebody might want to have lots of characters across multiple campaigns and play with different DMs. This gives you that little bit of a boost. One active expedition, so you're able to host one launch expedition from Guildhall. You get everything over in player, so you don't just have to be a DM. You can also be a player. You'll always get your first month free. You'll have one story engine campaign, one expedition. The same repeating itself a bit here. The demo campaign, the Hello Lantern Inn, obviously that's included for free. As more campaigns get added, they'll also be free. So I'll have just quickly go back to here, browse templates. I'll build out multiple templates over time. I also want to get it so the community members can share their story, and that will also appear here. So that'd be like a vault item where you'll be able to go in and actually like look at someone else's story, take it off the shelf and play it your own way. You've got 10 gigabytes of storage. The reason why I've had to limit that is because storage isn't cheap, and if you're uploading loads of videos for World Builder, it's going to cost a lot of money, so that's why it's 10 gig. You get everything in StoryEngine, you get everything in World Builder. So you get everything but two things in StoryEngine. You don't get the world graph, and you don't get timeline events, which does have a knock-on effect for Codex, but we'll come to that in another video. You get everything in World Builder. You get nearly everything in Table, but you don't get fancy dice. You don't get weather effects. You don't get time of day. But you still get your projector. You still get your hybrid. You still get your online play. And over again, you can create a contract, manage the party readiness, and launch one expedition at a time. Moving on to the DM Gods, the DM Pro. £7.50 a month. 5 campaigns, 25 characters. Again, might be that. Someone wants to play lots of different games, might want to have 25 characters. Likelihood is if someone does actually want to go down that route, we'll create a player subscription level where you might be like an advanced player who plays D&D every night, and you could have 50 characters or 100 characters. I'll figure that out there anyway. You get 50 monthly Oracle credits. Oracle is the AI. I know AI is always a bit of a sketchy thing when it comes to D&D and tabletop roleplay sort of stuff, but if you don't want to use it, you don't use it. It's not forcing it upon you. It doesn't make you use it. It's a side of table thing. It's so much of a side of table thing that it doesn't actually write your story for you. All it will do is it will take your story and it will say, you can say to it, look, I need an NPC. The NPC is from Whispering Wharf. It will go read all the details about Whispering Wharf, and it will build a relevant NPC to that area. You can obviously flesh it out even more. You can say, I want this NPC to be related to XYZ, and then it can get deeper and deeper and deeper. But it's a side, like I like to call it, a side of table item, and that's what that is. You can launch unlimited expeditions. What does that mean? It means, let's say you are someone who wants to host D&D sessions for money and actually charge people to come and play with them. On here, you could set up countless expeditions. You could have a monthly one set up. You could have a weekly one set up. And these can all be pre-planned, and you can set your campaign up, and it's all linked together. Okay, and all the management as well for these expeditions, they all come through Tavern and Guildhall, so you're dead easy to keep track of it. There's a mobile app for Tavern and Codex, and there will be one for Guildhall that will all make up one platform eventually. You get everything in DM Lite. You get every first month for free. We've already covered some of these, but you get 100 gig storage. You get really fancy 3D dice. So players and DM Lite, unfortunately, you're just going to get a bog standard black stone effect dice. But for DM Pros, you're getting I think it's 15 different designs at the moment. Probably more because I quite like making 3D dice. But yeah, snapshots and backups, I've shown that, so you can basically make sure your campaign's safe. We've already covered everything there. This kind of gives you an idea what you can do with Oracle AI. Advanced table features, so like say you've got 3D dice, better visual table movements, that's the weather effects, time of day, all that sort of stuff. And it's more designed for long-running campaigns as well. So it's you like one of my stories. It's massive. It's made up of tons and tons of components. And for that, having that extra features of being able to use timeline and connected world graphs gives me a visual indication of like, yeah, that person's there, and that's related to this person over there, and they're in this same location, but they're getting hunted by this person over here, and it's all them visual prompts to help you write a better story. And again, that leads back through to better chronicle workflows and better codex reveals. One thing that's going to come into the DM Pro, unfortunately I can't really do it for DM Lite because the amount of time it's going to take for me to work on it, is the feedback loop. And this is basically everything that happens in the table will find its way back into the story engine, and it will all have a nice filter which will let you be able to go, right, we played 2 weeks ago, we're in York's Heart as a location. What happened in York's Heart? Right, I want to see what happened with the player Sandra. What did Sandra get up to in York's Heart? Oh yes, she smashed the shit out of some crabs. Right, I've got that information now. And basically it's a really strong filtering tool. It's on here because it's coming. Know me, I'll probably not sleep on it and make it built very soon. But yeah, it's on the way there. And Rich play-to-play loop. You can see here all mine say downgrade. I've got what's called the Studio subscription, which is the top subscription. It's basically all of this, but everything's unlimited. Who's that for? That's for people who are writing, building, testing actual campaigns. Okay, so that's for people who sell campaigns for a living. Currently, there's no price on that. Realistically, with having 500 Oracle credits, it's not going to be particularly cheap. It's going to be more lean towards the maybe 25 to £30 a month area. The reason being is that I can imagine the AI on that one would be very useful, because the AI actually lets you find dead ends. So say, for example, in the first chapter, page 1, and this AI is available to the Pro DM Pro as well. So you're in the first chapter, you've done the first few pages, and you've mentioned a bard, and you're like, Bard Flynn, and you build up this relationship in your story where you think Bard Flynn is going to be quite an important character and they're going to travel with the party. But then during your very first game playthrough, your characters decide to kick Bard Flynn in the nuts and side with a bunch of evil goat cults. An evil cult of goats, which actually did happen in our story, which is why if I go to characters, evil, where are they? They're an NPC, sorry. We've actually now got the goat cult. I have de-orphed. Sorry about that. I'm not going to start the video again because I've been on it for ages. The goat cult. Yeah, so my party decided to team up with these people and ruin my story. So I used the AI, the Oracle, to go back through, find wherever I mentioned Flynn the Bard, and basically eliminate him from the story. Didn't write it for me, but it told me where it was. Okay, so it's like I say, it's just a side table. Anyway, that is it for the Tavern. I don't know how long I've waffled on for, but any feedback, any requirements, anything at all, let me know and we'll get it added in.